We're back. Curb Your Enthusiasm is back. Season 11. I'm glad to see it back. I remember the most recent season of this show was right before the COVID pandemic really took hold. Actually, it was going through that as well. So it's been basically a pandemic's length time since we had a season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it's back. I'll just jump in. Season 11, episode 1. Here we go. I think it was called like 5-Foot Fence or something like that, which, spoke to the intro of the show, having someone die in Larry's swimming pool. Larry and Leon's swimming pool. Let's not leave Leon out of this. Cops come. Cop says, hey, you need a 5-foot fence to comply with city ordinance. And Larry's like, what? What's going on? Obviously, I don't think that's a real law. That's put into place, and that brings about kind of the A plot of the episode, if you will, the extortion plot. Now, Curb Your Enthusiasm, it's always had a strange story structure, IMO, in my opinion. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I've done my best to split this up into different plots. So we'll go briefly, I have brief comments about each plot. But the A plot, the extortion plot, what is this guy dies in the pool, and the guy's brother says, hey Larry, you have to cast my daughter in your new show that Larry has pitched called Young Larry. The daughter is just not good. The daughter is not a good actor, and hilariously so, I would say. And it's that ironic situation where the actor that's playing the bad actor is an incredible actor because she's doing it so perfectly. Just highlights of that storyline would definitely be Larry like trying to make it look like she's doing a good job in the audition. I don't know. Larry David is just, he's very good at looking and acting uncomfortable. So I think that the extortion plot is going to be the main through line of the entire season. Because every season has that. I would say the B plot would be Albert Brooks's funeral, living funeral. And I thought that was an okay storyline. It didn't really make me go, wow. But John Hamm was funny in it. Apparently Albert Brooks is a COVID hoarder. I thought that was decently funny, being like everyone's horror at being a COVID hoarder. C plot, I would say, is Larry's oncoming feebleness. The plot. The Susie plop, which was really funny. The Susie plop was funny. Larry dropping the wine, and then Larry walking into the glass door, and Larry's date, Lucy Liu, losing all attraction to him because he walked into the door, he is feeble now, and Leon's line was like, that's 2 feeble things in a row. Super funny. And I guess if you had to say that there's a D plot, you would say Leon's girlfriend would be the D plot, but it kind of fits into the walking into the glass door thing, and then him auditioning other Mary Fergusons. Hopefully the Mary Ferguson that he auditioned and chose will stick around. I think that could be a funny plot line. Leon and his new GF. I think that, throughout this episode, it was a lot of storylines, a lot of different things happening. I found myself kind of confused at some points, but not in like a bad way. I think I was confused from the standpoint of like me really trying to figure out what was going on. Every time that a new storyline would arise, then, there was also the guy owing Larry money. That was something too, but it was just a fine I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff going on. See, like I can't even remember all the stuff that was going on. And typically in Curb Your Enthusiasm, all that stuff kind of comes together at the end of the episode for like a really satisfying ending. But not this episode. I didn't really feel like that satisfied by the end of this episode. I liked the orchestra playing the song. That was funny. And then showing Larry and Albert both single at this orchestra was cool, but overall it didn't all come together, and I think that it was a below average episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Although even with the confusing moments, every time a new storyline came up, I wasn't like, what's this? I was like, oh yeah, that's happening. So it wasn't like bad from a viewer's standpoint. It was just like a meh episode. I would give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah, that's that for me. Curb Your Enthusiasm. See you next week for episode 2.